Andre, great to have you here.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much.
It's a huge pleasure. Why don't we start with, in some ways, like the origin story of your journey so far, which is the run you had in, was it 2018 from France to Morocco?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, can you tell the story behind that run, which is what, 3,000 kilometers?
Yeah,
How did
sure,
that change you?
sure, for sure. Can I start? This story actually start with my father. So is that okay if we take a few minutes to share about it? I believe
Please.
it's important.
Yeah,
I believe right now, I try to carry a 50 years legacy because my father wanted to migrate from his worthy cause that I call, his worthy goal was to migrate from Cameroon to France in the 70s. So he didn't know how long it was going to take him, but it took him 4 years from walking from Cameroon to Mauritania. Then afterwards, it was pretty intense because he got to the coast in Mauritania. It was a night with a friend, and they were on the beach over there. Mauritania is a country between you have Senegal in the south and then Morocco in the north, that people can know. Then my father was like, "Well, we're gonna get to Europe." He saw offshore a big super tanker, a big ship, and look at his friend and was like, "We're gonna swim there." And his friend was like, "What? What do you mean we're gonna swim there?" It's pretty crazy, right? His friend was like, "Sorry, man, I don't want to die. You want to do what you got to do." And my father, accepted him. So he got on his knees, he prayed, he got up, put his Bible in a plastic bag and some cookies, and started swimming in the dark. And after a lot of hours, he got like feel the fishes nibbling on his skins and stuff like this. Few hours, 5 hours later, it got close to like the wall of the, for when you're in the sea level surface, when you see a big super tanker, like the walls of the boat, it's like a steel wall, right? So,
yeah.
he found a way to get there. He climbed by the anchor chain. We got caught by one of the crew member there on the top deck because he tried to sneak in to go to Europe. They detained him. They attached him. The captain of the ship came with an axe to try to, like to intimidate Madame, but we even killed him because what difference will he make, right? It's the illegal immigrants here, aliens here, so what the heck? He took his way out of it, negotiated with them. He came back down the same way that he came in. Then one of the guy had pity on him, crew member. He threw him a float in the water, and he started swimming again all the way back. Long story short, it's very important that you know this. Then afterwards, he did another attempt where he something similar, but he didn't swim. But that time, the boat was the ship was docked on the port, so he sneaked in into the top deck, into like life raft, while hiding there with some cookies and water. After 3 days at sea, cookies and water ran out. You have no choice to stay here because otherwise, if he gets caught, and this time, if he gets thrown overboard on sea, then that's death, right? So after 8 days, total journey, he got to Rotterdam's in the Netherlands. Then he walked to all the way. Then really story is compact here, huh? All the way from Rotterdam to Belgium, then to Paris. He become a qualified welder. So working in nuclear power plant. Met my mother. A great time and so on. Then I'm born in France in 19. Then met my mother first, of course, got my siblings. Then I got married before.
Mhm.
Then you moved to northwest of France in Normandy. When I'm born in 1986. What I'm talking to you about this, Patrick, is very important because it's a legacy that I carry. And this race called La Migrante in 2018. That was from 10 of March 2018 to the 22nd of June 2018. It was to pay a tribute to my father in all honest refugees who wants to come to a place, integrate the country, keep the culture, of course, but still integrate where they are. So that's why I try to carry this legacy of wherever you go, like I'm in Finland right now in the Nordics, so carry. So yeah, so this race was 3,000 kilometers ish. So that was 77 marathons in a row in 3 months and 13 days with a 10-kilogram backpack. At time, my back was bleeding because, of course, like I started in 10th of March, and when I got to, because normally it's not like north of France, but it's way more up north compared to west to south.
Mm.
Then I want to go to southern France in the Pyrenees near the Spanish coast because I went east afterwards. Because of the sweat, because it started to be above 20 degrees, so it gets hot, and it started to come some clothes, right? So because of the sweat of the backpack and of my skin and stuff, friction. Sometimes my back was I had to stop running. There was, yeah. And yeah, then afterwards, Then I got to long. Okay, I'm sure we can talk about more stuff here, but long story short, I say long story short a lot because there's so much stuff to say. But I go to Morocco after a really long journey in the 22nd of June. Yeah, in 2018.
How did that journey change you? Like, if you think about André before and
Of
after.
course, this I like the really good question. It did change me a lot because before, I mean, I wasn't like I said, like a bad person.
Hmm.
I came to say I wasn't a bad person, but I was did a different lifestyle before
Yeah.
that didn't really lined up with my my standard that my parents taught me and stuff. And I was like, no, you don't have to change this. So that definitely that journey before and after, it was like a cross carrying. I mean, in Bible, Jesus Christ says like, if you want to follow me, take your own cross and follow me. And that's kind of like, in my way, what I did, because what I did, it was extremely hard at times for me, was extremely violent, was painful and stuff. I
Yeah.
cried, I screamed a lot of internal things that you need to deal with, right? Because
Yeah.
when you stay comfortable, you need to go deep inside that heart of yours and clean the bottom. And when you move stuff from the bottom going up, can cause a lot of,
Yeah. There's trauma inside.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess maybe just take a step back. Even thinking about doing such a journey
Uh,
requires you to have some self-belief that
yes.
full shot.
Yes.
What did that look like? Was there a moment before that where you're like doing at least one marathon or maybe, three before you set up to do 77 of them in a row?
Uh,
Well, just curious to hear like what gave you the self-belief before it that I can probably pull this off?
well, the self belief, right? It goes back again to bridging this back to my dad because
Yeah.
when I would think about him, and he was like swimming in the ocean, imagine that in the dark.
Yeah.
And of course you have fears, but it's worthy because I call like worthy because
Hmm.
like the talent, the passion, and the goal, right?
Yeah.
Weighs more than it fears. Two is for his future unborn child,
Yeah.
for his family back in Cameroon, and is him himself now. You know, imagine swimming the ocean and stuff, and I was like, he must have some freaking fears for sure. He did, but because the Atlantic Ocean, open water, it's not a. You have shark there too. Huh?
Yeah.
But the fact that he swam like that, I really realized in my head that, if he did this and you grew up with that, right, and you hear the stories, and you just like this override the conscious and the subconscious mind. That's why I really decided me to start on doing that. And of course, at the beginning of that 2017, when I talk about it, people are like, some people like, like look my size. I'm not built to be a marathon run, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a sprinter originally. So I start to do my first marathon, and the idea that I'm going to do that as well for because of his experience and because of for the better purpose, also for my daughter and so on. It just gave me strength to go a little bit by little bit. That's how cool run. Like one marathon was a really long journey, like a long process, like 11 months. I started to train on the end of April 2017. Yeah, when I came back from working on a cruise ship and into all the way to 10th of March 2018. But of
Mhm.
course, a bit before that,
Mhm.
but there was a long process, little bit by little bit. Once for the first month, three jog of 1 hour, 15 minutes, really short, right?
Yeah.
Second month, same stuff. But now I do my first two and a half hour race. Third month, then here we go. First marathon, 5 hours and 30 minutes. Freaking long. But you know what? I did it.
Yeah.
1 month later, a month and a half later, 50K, 60K, 110K, 250K, 7 hours straight running, not stop, even when I was need to use the bathroom, right? So, yeah,
Just like building up.
yeah, you build up the tolerance, yeah, and also like you have that worthy cause, that stuff in your mind, that the cause of why you do it, a little bit, because
Mm.
without the why, I mean, what the heck would you go,
Yeah.
through such torture, because it can be torture a bit, right?
Yeah, definitely. I guess a lot of people would have been afterwards, like once you arrived to Cameroon, your back is like hurting out hell. Everything is hurting. And a lot of people might have been like, okay, that was, worth doing it, but I'm done now. And yet, was it a couple of years later, you did the US, right?
Actually, it was 1 year later.
1 year later. So, talk to me. So, what was going through your mind? Were you like a week after, like, like this was like amazing, I want to do it again? Like what was going through your head between two races?
Well, the thing is, it's interesting. It's like you're reading from a mind right now. It's interesting. That's how I show what I do and stuff. Well, when I finished 22nd of June 2018, I was like, I'm happy, of course. But sometimes, ironically speaking, when you think about this, it's like, should I do something more? I'm like, that's it now.
Yeah.
So what's next? I thought about it a lot. Like all summer 2018, I was thinking, should I do this? Should I not do this? Had a good time. Was the time when France won the football things, and
Yeah.
I was with my brothers and friends, party and stuff. I mean, just gathering, doing boot camp, talking. I'm like, nah, man, I have to do the other things. And after that's when I decided to do the race across the states. Really, by the end of 2018, that's when I was like, by the 1st of November 2019, I'll be in Brooklyn, New York,
Wow.
to Oswego,
So it was
to
pretty
towards the
fast.
west. Yeah. Mhm.
So it was 4,500 kilometers. That's the US, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do 5,700, but we cut off because I was supposed to go more south.
Yeah.
I cut off through Vegas, but we can talk about it later.
So
Yeah.
maybe when we start with like, I'm sure you had a lot of experience.
Sure.
What was like a dark moment, and how did you kind of get yourself across that dark period of time during the race?
During the race in the US?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of tears, and I felt definitely from the race across France to Africa and the rest of the US, it was a big switch.
Really?
Yeah, because I felt like I stepped forward a bit. And to be honest with you, and actually that's the truth, is that in 20 in how can I say, uh sorry, I lost my background thoughts, which will come back, no problem. Did you ask your question again, sir?
Yeah. So like, if you think about the US race,
Yeah.
what was a difficult time, the most difficult moment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You come back. So in 2018, when I did this, of course, it was shorter than the US, right? But the race across the US was easier than the race from France.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was that?
Why was that? Well, it's pretty straightforward because like internally, I did a lot of internal work, which I'm still doing now. What we're all doing till probably my last day on Earth. But internally, in the US, there's some value that align with things, and man, those value give me freaking boost. Of course, if you talk purely physically speaking, so psychologically speaking, because when I ran across France to Africa, the thing is like my body is the first time, so my body is like, what the freak are you doing to me?
Yeah.
And in the States, like, I know what you're doing here. So, and then he's like, I know what you're trying to do here. So let's go back to that, like that comeback mode, But in the US, I, of course, had some hard times. Well, say when I was in difficult, dark. I don't know if it's a really dark time, but when I was in Pennsylvania, in the state of Pennsylvania, it's like 250 kilometers away west of New York in the Appalachian Trail, you can say. I was running with like a 30-pound, 15-kilogram backpack because I was like, oh, no big deal. I ran across the US, I ran across Central Africa with 10 kilogram. Now I'm going to run with 15 kilogram. Oh, it's only 5 kilometers. Big mistake.
Really?
Because everything past there, right? And I made a mistake because I take things for granted. I did this, so, right? And like, in that 5 kg, like any kilogram above what I did in France to Africa, at every kilometer, every kg more, it's exponential and it's torturing on the body. And I remember after 1 or 2 days when I was already in New Jersey still, and I was like, I'm in pain. I talked to a few people who were in contact with me in Europe who helped me and stuff. I was like, I'm in pain, man. I'm tired. My knees were sore. I have like those big like cramp, like to severe cramp and stuff. And then after then I reached Pennsylvania one day. I met a friend of mine, fellow from the race, and stuff. A friend. I live in the US, but we went between friends in the US. And he joined me here and he looked at my face. I'm like, dude, you get a continent because the state is the country, but it's a freaking big continent, right?
Yeah.
Like you get like a continent to cross, man. I'm like, I know. And like, look at your face. Are you sure you're gonna last that long to go there? I'm like, we need to find a solution. Like, what can I do? I have a bit of money with like some sponsors, some GoFundMe and stuff, but that money I had to kept it no matter what. Precious, because I was about to enter like inland US. In the winter, you get some hardcore storm over there,
Yeah,
right?
because you were January, right?
No, 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 no. It was like 1st of November. I'm
So,
going. So I was like, what can I do? And that guy, man, he came like an angel out of nowhere. He's like, you know what, Andre? Ain't much, but I'm going to uh I'll tell you another moment after this. He's like, I'm going to buy you a running stroller. So we order one online. I mean, you order one online and add a running stroller. Like, there's a lot of like
mhm.
those women's over there. Oh, I don't know if it's too much in Europe. Maybe here it is now. But they put the baby in the US and Canada. They put the baby in the stroller and they run, and
Yeah,
stuff. And I had my stroller. So he was very, very good. I was so grateful to him because when you put your backpack into the stroller, he was like that. And I was like, big smile. Of course, like my wrists were really swollen
mm,
because let's be honest, come on, it's stress straightness on the body, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
holding up, what
yeah,
have you.
yeah, yeah. Then when I reached Kansas City, so Kansas right now you're like close to 18, like 1,800 kilometers away from New York.
Hmm.
You didn't cross like you enter in like deep in central mid US. West of Kansas, like in Topeka. So that was like another 100 kilometers away from insert going toward like the west, right? Then I gave a speech there, I gave a few speeches and stuff there, and I was a bit worried there because I was like, like the thing is in the US, once you pass the west of the Mississippi River, you have less town, it's less things, less habitated in things. I'm like, how the heck I'm gonna do that? Because of course the winter in Wyoming that I was about to cross, it's like Alaska. People told me you're gonna die. It's suicide. They told me you should take the southern route going through like
Mm.
Oklahoma, Western Texas, New Mexico and stuff. But I was like, nah, I'm like the pioneers, people who they went through Wyoming, they died. I'm a stubborn, yeah, honestly, I'm a bit stubborn. Anyway, long story short, after that speech there was a local congregation. There's a guy and a woman, and a couple approached me. They're like, how the heck you gonna do that? And they saw that I was really determined, so they didn't try to persuade me and stuff. Like, you know what, Andre? I'm gonna be your chase car out of nowhere. So for me, it was dark before it got brighter. And he was, yeah. And 7 to 8 hours later, it was there more like in Kansas State and later like in like Abilene, like deep, like after New Year's Eve, first day after New Year's Eve 2020. And he was there with a car, souped up, magnet, all around USA. I thought I'm going to do politics, I'm going to, back in the America, Andre Renew. And he wanted to do it, but actually stick all the way from freaking Kansas all the way to California. That's why I did the 4,400 500 kilometers and those 5,700.
Hmm.
Because the deal is when we're already in Wyoming, getting closer to Utah, I was like, I would love to come. He was like, yeah, I have to go back, but I would love to come. And we need to find a compromise. Because first,
Yeah.
when I was because if you see them after the US, you have like Utah, you have Salt Lake City, then you have Phoenix. And
Hmm.
Phoenix is literally like 1,000 kilometers south.
Yeah.
I want to go to Phoenix and do all the way along the Mexican border, like the States, all the way there. He was like, yeah, but if I follow with you, I'm going to have to do only, we got cut through Vegas and stuff. And he told me some story before that if you go through alone in the desert, because he was a former bounty hunter.
Oh, wow.
And he told me, yeah, you don't want this crazy stuff happening by the border. I'm like, no, 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 no. Okay. You know what? No.
So only 4,500.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious, like, because like that is such like a show of what humans are capable of at their
For
best.
sure.
Like,
100%. Oh, yeah.
like, has your perception of human beings changed?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Patrick. Absolutely. I know. I don't see. I mean, please, I'm not above anybody else, so I don't judge.
Yeah.
But welcome coming to this podcast. I want people to like this. Oh, it's cool. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's like this. I'm happy because I know I like the heat. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm French and Cameroonese, right?
Yeah.
I also live in Cameroon. I live in a lot of hot places in there, but when I see seasons starting and snow, and I'm happy, So it did change for sure. I don't think the same anymore, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Maybe it's a good bridge to the cold because like there's a lot of, let's call them like ultra marathoners, runners do these crazy stunts, maybe not as crazy as you, but
Sure.
still, and they stick with that. They stick with running. However, you then switch to, was it the next thing was the immersion in ice, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
can you like, how do you go from running to that ice exposure,
Of course.
like world record?
That's for sure. Really good question. So, after I ran across if you remember 2020, COVID, things were really hard.
Yeah.
And for what I'm doing, I felt a bit down, I will say, because I didn't want to really get what I wanted to get across the US. I thought there's going to be more and more opportunities, but it's life, sometimes how it is.
Yeah.
So, on the time with my daughter's mother, like we got closer, like closer intimately, but closer for my daughter and stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, I was like also going through what I worked at the time in Switzerland. In German, I was going through really, really hard time.
Mhm.
Some people where I worked for really, yeah, they thought that you're friendly is business sometimes, like, but they were really mean and stuff. I'm not saying that to being a victim, but it's just a fact.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I'm like, people are so freaking wicked. Even after when I ran across the USA, they don't give a shit about this. They don't respect you or whatsoever. They just think about the interest. Human nature is a sick, twisted things. And I was like, Andre, stop right there. Come on, get yourself together. They can put you on your knees. They will never do what you do. No disrespect, but I'm like, they don't have, and they're jealous or whatever. I'll do. And I'm like, you know what? And I was living in Zermatt. So you have the beautiful Matterhorn. If
Mm.
you know the pictures sometime that I post, like, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's because that's where I discovered. You know what? And I heard about a bit about that, the Wim Hof methods and stuff like that. And I read about his story and breath work as well, because I'm sure we're going to get there, right? Because breath work without breathing, then forget about it. And yeah, I started to do ice bath. First ice bath. I mean, I was in the dam in Switzerland, poured his water. I was like, the mind is so strong. 15 seconds. I was like,
Yeah.
a little, couldn't breathe. It was impossible. But after I built up to it, you see. Then afterwards, I started to build up, and I started to bring a lot of people through that cold exposure. My former employers and stuff, when they saw me, they were a bit like hating, but I could sense the negative energy, or jealousy, but they could see I was just rising and that they couldn't touch me. So I knew I was doing something right. And then after like doing like I said, like my daughter's mother, things got closer, and she told me that our daughter Kira was on the autism spectrum. I was like, you know what? I'm getting better at the ice bath. I ran across America. You know what? Let's do a world record for my daughter and everyone else for this neurodivergence. What the heck? And I trained for it over 3 years. A lot of ice bath, over 1,000. Sometime even, I once I caught the COVID, or I was really sick in 2021, really sick. But I kept on going and stuff. And I mean, I'm saying that despite adversity, because I stay human like everybody else, right? I get
Yeah.
sick and stuff. And I trained and I built tolerance. So I went from like I say 15 seconds, 1 minute and a half, 4, 7, 30, 10, 13, 20, 40, an hour 1, an hour in 3, an hour in 11, an hour 17, an hour 21, an hour in 31, running like 22K barefoot on snow, running in Canada above for 2 hours at minus 30 degrees, minus 35, swimming in the dark, of course, with a harness, being safe,
Hmm.
in the dark, or like 1 meter of ice. No experience. How do you explain that, man? It's that if you did something, why not keep on doing more and more?
Yeah. That's going to go back to that. How do you get there is by small increments of,
Small increments, exactly. Small increments, and the rod, they said iron rod, like the iron that you hold to move forward. Even if there's the mist coming and
Mhm.
things would help you don't give up. There's wind, you don't, you like, you don't let it go. And that purpose, that word, because it's gonna help you to, yeah, you help me to
Yeah.
build tolerance, and that's what I'm doing all the way until today, right?
Yeah. It does seem like what do you call it? Worthy cause. It's like
Yeah.
something like whenever you're aiming for something which is difficult, it's, if you, as you mentioned earlier, if you don't have anything you're actually doing it for, some things might be too weak,
No,
right?
yeah,
You might have a goal that is like, oh, I want this, but then actually, do you really want it? And
yeah.
or do you just want it so you can show off or something? I'm curious, like, have you ever had an experience where you've had like you thought it was a worthy cause, but actually was not worthy enough, maybe early in your life? Has there been a moment where, like, what makes a good worthy cause?
I mean, for me, worthy cause, it's I go to talk about since I've been raised, since what my father taught me. My father wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
he has a weakness like everybody else, but
Hmm.
I was really inspired about like what he did. I mean, you walk even like in one Africa, like going to Mauritania, you walk in freaking
Hmm.
Mayan territories in Senegal,
Yeah.
or swimming the ocean. I mean, those things really help me to like, it does like you do what seems impossible to human mind, and that's what inside me, because of, I mean, inside me, I kept that always kind of true, because you since a young age, and it was my father was telling me at times, yeah, you know what, we're gonna drive. He was tucking my ears. I'm like, we're gonna drive from France all the way to Cameroon with the car. It's back in it, it's crazy. You just don't go across the Sahara Desert like this. Yeah, but he was getting serious about it. And I look at him, and you get like, man, he goes back again to like the word to the talents. Since when you were young, or like you were a baby or young, I mean, you were good at doing something, and it's really to what you're good at, and you go back at it. But unfortunately, when you grow up, your parents or people around you, the dream stealer. You can't do this because too like that, or it's too crazy, it's too ridiculous. What's ridiculous, man?
Yeah.
So it's really that things that I grew up with, and that desire to keep on going forward, who help me to push.
Hmm.
You know?
Stay resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, the most recent one, you have a cap off, and
Yeah. And hey, who's there?
indeed, yeah.
Who's
We're
there? Come on.
very fortunate to be sponsors as well.
Thank you so much.
I guess this kind of almost like married the two things, right? It was running
Yeah.
and the code,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you talk more about like what was the attempt and then what ended up happening?
My pleasure. My pleasure, Patrick. Thank you so much again for sponsoring, and hopefully the future we'll have great collaboration going together, which I'm sure we will. Well, that's Svalbard, 78 degrees north run. Oh, uh, uh, that race was totally crazy. I won't say stupid, it was crazy, insane. I mean, not good, insane, crazy. I was like, well, I like the cold,
Yeah.
and I like running. So it was like, why not merging these two together? That's a years of work. And it's like over right now, 7 years. I mean, 2018, it's like 7 years. So it's a
Yeah.
long time. Like the body in French, you call that le foncier. So the body is just
Acclimate.
acclimates, just deep in your DNA and stuff. Yeah, I was like, because I'm about to get ready for something bigger, but one step at a time. We can talk a bit later if you like. But I was like, hey, you know what? I like the north. I'm in Finland. I'm getting ready for a bigger project. Then I was like, why not training in going to freaking the top of the world? And also go back again to my father. He went from Cameroon all the way to France, and me, I'm going to carry the legacy all the way to the north of the world, which literally I was at Svalbard, 78 parallel north, even close to 700-ish kilometers away from the North Pole. They call it the gateway to the North Pole. I mean, Greenland. Greenland is cold. It's north of Greenland.
Yeah.
So to tell you all things that is,
Basically.
I'm talking about this because I'm dramatizing it, man. But you know what? That's freaking crazy, right? And what you have over there? It's polar bear territories, wildlife. It's like the jungle, but of the north.
Yeah.
And so literally what I did, I wanted to train for this, use that as a training camp for something bigger. But I trained itself. What I did is stay as a world record. So it was to run 6 marathons and 6 days. So I did a little less. I did, because 6 marathons, exactly 6 days, 252 kilometers. And I did plus 250.67 kilometers. But I mean, it's pretty much
Yeah.
done. So the thing is, because already in Svalbard, I did it like I came back like a couple weeks ago. Right now it's also getting cold and stuff, so we got the temperature between -4, -5 with to -18, including the wind. Short in shoes, huh?
Yes.
That's where it becomes more twisted. So I did that for mental health and suicide prevention.
Yeah.
To show that we all have traumas, of course, but hey, through the talent that you have and a goal, with your passion will develop automatically with it. You can do again amazing things. And I ran in short in shoes. Thanks again to all the sponsors there, like you, Alveos, Coal Club, Urtigrit and Coal Miners. Also, I met a great friend over there. We helped me to do professional video times Mayfair. Really happy. Then so literally the first day, got excited, too excited. 53.4 kilometers. And I thought I did 33 kilometers, but actually it was in mile. So that night I'm like, man, I ran so slow. The only 33 kilometers in freaking 6 hours of running. I'm like, what? I was mileage. I was like, ah. Second day, because of course, long European over there, you have a safe zone. And out of the safe zone, you have, you need to be escorted with thank you to the arm gun out over there from Uti Grutens Valbard. Rifle. Second day was because you see a lot of you saw like a lot of the polar bear sign.
Yeah.
A lot of it's for marketing, but I mean, safe, but people use it as well. Oh, it wasn't the safe zone of the polar bear. Then I got to that sign, and anyway, that day was a bit good, nervous, like adrenaline, but a bit nervous as well because it was like that time I was gonna go toward Kansas Barrens. So you saw some of the picture, right? It's freaking look like you're on the moon. Like even like you have stars, like people, like the Hollywood movies, they come there. I think Interstellar or something.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible was shot there a bit and stuff. But it's just like there's no trees, there's nothing. Ice, water. And as I was running there, because I was starting on my first day, right? So that second day, I did 33, 35K-ish, something like this. And running there, so exhausted and things because my body acclimates again. And I was starting running, and my team in the van was really scared because they saw me. I was getting reddish, and I was like running like that, like my face at time looked really, really, really crazy, like having a stroke. Of course, I didn't have a stroke.
Yeah.
Thanks not. But I was shivering, and I know that day I was in hypothermia, at least stage 1 for sure, minimum. I was getting to stage 2. Was really hard. But as well at the same time, then we stopped there. I went back to the hotel where I was in coal miners' cabins, took a nice 30-minute shower, and then you gotta go back at it again. And that was amazing too because, of course, yeah, you were armed guard, but you still feel so little because those polar bears, man, they like apex predators. They're really dangerous. They look so cute, so white, so nice, but they'll kill you. I heard some stories. I don't want to talk about it here, but anyway, like the guard before I went go outside of the safe zone, outside of the safe zone, she was like, "Well, Andre, so if you see a polar bear, anyway, she was behind me. There's that. She had the rifle in the car. No hero, no stuff. You go back in the car. We take pictures from the car."
Yeah.
And my team over there told me actually, man, when she was in the car, she was like a hawk, like through a mouse, like watching you, like a bird watching a worm and stuff to see all the steps. So she's like, it was a reindeer. So I saw a lot of reindeer, some foxes, some white birds. I don't know what you call that, but yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
But you did it.
I did it, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
frustration.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
What do we talk about the tax tidbit? So take me through your, like for this one, where it's like cold and the running. What's your kind of, pre-event breathing routine or anything else you do?
Yeah, for sure. Breathing, it's important. And we also breathing in meditation. It goes back all the way to actually, when I ran across France to Africa, I started developing a bit more conscious breathing. Not yet for like coldish wise yet.
Yeah.
But when I trained for running across the States, because where I live, in France, is hill. It's not like the mountain, but like a lot of hollows and stuff. And I was running there, and actually I heard about like consciously on the breathe with your nose, good, push your diaphragm down, and the belly go up. Actually, it's not the belly going out because of the diaphragm, so that's why it's going out, right? It's going out, right? So I start doing that, and right away I could run faster in hills. Yeah. Because my body it's not that shallow breathing that,
Yeah.
deep breathing. And literally I saw a good like 20 to 30% changes. And of course, I'm training my bodies just to what I did before, but still, I know when you do something inside you with change, you just know, right? So I start doing that. Then after, of course, for the ice bath, I do a lot of things. So 20, when I really push the brain to a next level, it was, end of fall, early winter 20, end of fall 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Then I learn about like the breath works, like the few rounds, a bit of hyperventilation, how you're going to activate that adrenaline, mode, right? I mean, to go into like a combat, like consciously.
Yeah.
And that really helped me as well, so do like 4 rounds. So you're going to go like, so say I inhale longer than I breathe out. So
So like 3 to 2. Like, do you count?
yeah. So like, let's say to like, 2, 3 seconds and like half time of the time breathing out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just like the opposite of the relaxing one, which like,
Yeah.
so here you actually want to get the adrenaline.
Then of course doing that too. Then obviously I did a lot of like box breathing. I'm my own rat lab, right? I do everything. So I did a lot of box breathing as well. Also with Cold Club right now, which I'm going to become a coach there. A lot of different kind of stuff, and it's interesting because I do all those kind of things, but right now I'm learning like properly how to do this. And of course I did like the box, so breathing, or what I did something else, like you breathe in for, let's say you inhale for 6 seconds, you hold for time 4, so for 24 seconds, and you exhale for 12 seconds. You do this. I just play with, I just play with it. And yes, I did also some oxygen vent breathing as well.
Yeah.
I'm running. I'm gonna go like, just like put not a tape, or just put some. I close my mouth when I'm in my race. Like 30 minutes after starting, the body is nicely warmed up and things. So I go inhale, just hold the nose. Not like the 3 and 2, but just regularly, just same time inhale, same time exhale. Then after the 6th round, I run as much as possible. Without without breathing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit hard, but you just push your body, at least just for like altitude training and things. Yeah,
Super interesting.
different training. We can talk more, but I think it's enough for now.
Yeah. Well, maybe because you also do coaching, as you mentioned,
Of
now,
course,
like to beyond athletes, just like normal people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of one of the things that you're one of the best in the world is like resilience. If you want to kind of take someone who's like, you know, stressed out the work and so forth, like, where do you start to build up the resilience for that person? What's the first step?
Well, the first step I'm going to do that, like I'm going to do like I did myself, right? I'm going to do that kind of a breath work. Obviously, I'm going to see how people are, because if people because I'm not a doctor, and I like to say that out loud, it's important to not pretend that you're something that you're not, because it could backfire at you, right? So, of course, if like I never had that, but if someone is like, was like, how do you call that in French, in English? There's a word for it. Like asthmatic, asthma and everything. We gotta check the doctor and like you see if I have clearance or whatsoever. Then I adapt.
Sure.
But of course, what I'm gonna do, of course, always in a safe environment, laying down, and we're gonna do a few rounds. Not like I'm doing extremely, because of course it's extreme, right? But I'm gonna try to breathe in, like let's say for like 2 seconds. Because as I was training people, I was more into like, I discover, so I wanted to do the same to them. But I'm like, Andre, you can do that. That's crazy, they're not you, right?
Yeah.
So it's really important to adapt to the person. So we're gonna go probably for like 15 rounds, 15 breath. One breath is that, of course, and they're gonna go for 15 to 20 to 20 breath. After breath hold, retention, see what's going on, then increase into it, and kept on going, and do that, let's say 4 months, and increase them, and really focus on what they are gonna feel in the body, in the fingers, in the toes, in the body, like physiological changes as well. And also what I tell them, because of course that breath work is still not relaxing. I did some relaxing, it's more like alert mode.
Yeah.
Like it's like waking up your sympathetic system, right?
Mhm.
So it's to tell them, hey, you know what? Then of course it links with the call, but like we talked a lot about breath here as a focus. So I'm like, it's good that they consciously go into like alert mode like this when you're gonna have outside environment, because we all have stress. Something it's how you react to the things, right? So with that breath work, it's gonna help them as well to definitely be not combat mode, hopefully not. If it is, then sure, but like be ready to get like you still will be stressful in body.
Yeah.
Let's be obvious, but let's like, oh my gosh, what are you like panic mode? You'll be a bit stressed, but you'll be ready to
More
be
control, I guess.
more control. Exactly.
Yeah, that's very smart. And also, I guess it helps you, the body and yourself, to adapt to like the feeling of sympathetic. So you feel like when it happens,
Mhm.
you can write it out.
Yeah.
Feel in control of it.
Yeah, because you have the pattern and stuff like that, right? How it is, like your lungs and things. Your eyes gonna like is gonna dilate and things. A lot of things.
Yeah, happening in the body. What's your kind of, if you think about now being kind of, let's call it out of season, like you're training against for the next thing, but like what's your daily routine look like when it comes to maybe both exercise and breathing specifically?
Well, for gym right now, I've been resting a lot because I was sore in here and here. But the routine wise, the optimal things will be to get up, do my meditation, my things, prayers, breathing, and I also like do my round of breathing. Regular breathing. I mean, 4 rounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Then that's what I will do. It's important because I did that for gold, and it also helps me for the world record. Also helped me because when I was in 1 ton of ice for 4 hours and 5 minutes, you need to do a lot of Tibetan things. But I'm like, I'm gonna go like this, right? And I learn about like monks or Tibetan monks. And I'm going like this. Of course, all the like experience that I have of the breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna look like my third eye. Some people say, "Oh, it doesn't exist." If you don't believe, then don't listen to this podcast. That's it. But like there's like the third eye here. He goes over here. Pituitary gland. Sorry if I miss it.
Mm-hmm.
You go. You look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's if it's too much for your eyes, because it can be a bit too much. Just close your eyes and look at it. Visualize that you have a dot here. Me, I visualize that it's like a volcano or flower. So you breathe in regular, and as you breathe out, you're gonna contract your rectum, the pelvic floor muscle, and you're gonna visualize as you contract, spitting the air out. All that air is going to feed that dot over there, and that as you breathe out and you feed that dot over there, the energy is gonna like saying some kind of like a heat wave or whatever you want to call, like a flower, a lotus who goes like who vibrates like a point of energy. Or do you remember Dragon Ball Z? You remember this?
Mm-hmm.
The anime when they go into fusion and it goes like kind of like that things.
Yeah.
And after a while, what's gonna happen? Then definitely after a few minutes of with practice, you're gonna start. I start to feel like fingers, like heat in my fingers. And after I did that for a long time, and felt like I felt like my forearms. So I'm sure I'm not that I don't have that experience on that yet, but I'm studying about it. But yeah, I'm sure it has to do with the chi energy or whatsoever. That even martial arts use it to break breaks or things like that. But like I one day I did it for like 1 hour, divided by two, and literally my forearm was like vibrating. I mean, I could feel heat.
Yeah.
How do we explain that? Because of this. So yeah, sorry. That's what I'm doing after regular breath work. I'm going to do this for like right now a little less. I do that for like 7 to 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and I train. Then I'm actually this week I'm going to do a run. Like let's say by sometime I'm going to do a first race is to quick 8 to 10K, and yeah. And of course, I like food.
Yeah. To feel up.
For sure.
Thank you for that. What's next? I know we've been talking about.
Oh, what's next? Well, you get involved, right? We're gonna go to Tromsø. So for me, Tromsø is also with my team. We decided that it's also part of it. Like we decided that it would be smart as well to get ready for bigger race, which I'm gonna run across Norway at the end of February towards the Nordkapp. So for mental health and culture integration. But this race we were like, why not do a race in for Christmas? It's fun. to also keep building the momentum and stuff like that. So I'm going to go. And for me, it's like like when boxers before like a pro match,
Yeah.
we do like sparring or glorified sparring session or whatsoever. For me, it's what it is. So it's training in Tromsø Christmas run, 75K over the course of 2 days in the beautiful town of cities of Tromsø, short in shoes, French like more than like red shoes. I mean, red shorts with like the name of the race. Yeah, running around in town, talking to people next with local, speaking Norwegian, having fun, whatever, man. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then the big one, as mentioned, is
Yeah.
February across Norway.
But at least longer than I thought, because I thought it's going to be like 1,500 kilometers of stuff. But Norway, the coast is so like, it's so like cracked and things.
Yeah.
So there's the town. So I'm going to start in Oslo. Then after I'm going to, Oslo is kind of like the beginning of the race. Then after the next day or the next same day, go to Bergen.
Mm-hmm.
And then west coast of Norway and up all the way. But of course, in Norway, you have a lot of fjords and stuff. There's going to be a lot of, so actually I'm going to run for like close to 2,000 kilometers. So it's going to be freaking long.
Yeah.
That's going to be long.
And cold.
And short in shoes. I know.
All right. It was like, probably a lot of our listeners are kind of into wellness,
For sure.
improving themselves. Is there a message you want to leave with them as we start wrapping up?
Yeah, well, the thing is like, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Do you, for your dreams, your talent, well, of different talents,
Mm-hmm.
really definitely do a bit of research, even if it takes a bit of time, because it took me times, but it's worth it. It's worth it to look for your talents, what you're good at, and fix yourself a goal to it. And that will help you to carry through this life, because it helped me. Because still going through like help me with dealing with my stolen traumas and things, So that's what I will say. So look for your talent. If you don't know what it is, look for your talent. Fix yourself a goal.
Worthy cause.
Worthy cause, yeah. And that will help you to have a okay life. It will help you to take care of your mental health, because at times, things can be stressful. It might not everything go away. Of course not. Come on,
Yeah.
it's life on earth, right? But it will help you to have a more decent life. And also, what's more beautiful about it, that you can inspire people around you.
Yeah, that's what I find really fascinating about your stuff, is that
Thank you.
the thing about what we're doing here is that we want to help people unlock their full potential.
Yeah.
With power of breathing.
Yeah, the purpose. In talent, goal to be purpose,
Exactly. Great. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for also doing what you do.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
For everyone listening, thank you for tuning in, and we'll make sure to add all your descriptions.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Patrick.
Your handle is?
Sure. So description. So André Belibi, do not say my name. I'll get mad at you. Just because so Instagram at André_Belibi, Facebook André Belibi, my website AndréBelibiCoaching.com. Yeah.
One last question.
Sure.
You always start your message with my friend.
Sorry, say that again?
You always start your kind of posts with like
in French.
Mon ami.
Bonjour, mon ami, André Belibi.
What's the story there?
Just to say as well, yeah, you're always good. Like, I talk with a lot of our friends, people who help me with the website and stuff, my website and stuff. It's also marketing catch too, but it's also to show where I'm from, because I live here in the Nordics now, but I'm still French. So, bonjour, mon ami, André Belibi. And it's funny too, because come on, everybody can say bonjour, mon ami. Say it.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Voilà, you see?
Well, oui.
So that's what it is, yeah. And it makes people smile and laugh. It's fun. French, Paris, city of love, Eiffel Towers, no, violin, very bright. Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.